You are now listening to Ride With Me, the Flat Tire Podcast.
Welcome to Ride With Me, episode 58. Today is July 3rd, 2021. And today I made the mistake of challenging Paul to a bike ride, and here he is.
Yep, you fucked up, man.
I know. Well, on the plus side is you have one on top of Ricky.
No, he'll probably come up on probably in the next week or
Oh,
something.
he'll hear you, and he'll be like, what's up, man?
I knew he was here. I knew he was here. I saw the truck.
You saw what?
I saw the truck. I was like, that's not a normal truck.
The truck out there is not his truck.
Okay.
I had him park his Tesla down the street.
Well, no, luckily, because I'm right behind that truck.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't going to be, but see, I'm glad I did, because I'm like, I'll park in front of this truck. I'm like, oh, wait, you know what? Go behind.
Yeah, because you're not. That's the reason why you wanted me to come at 5, because it's like you wanted me to come in.
Bro, I'm never here this early.
Nope.
This is all for you.
He was like, dude, he kept on asking me what time's he gonna get there. I'm like, dude, Paul is an on-time kind of guy, dude. Look it. He said 5 o'clock, and you're here literally what, 20 minutes early.
I almost didn't make it too because I fell back asleep. I woke up at 1, chilled with my dogs, and then I fell back asleep around like 2:30, and then I was like, fuck, I gotta get up, and I just got up and straight over here.
It's funny. I was setting this up yesterday, and then I'm like, okay, nothing. And then we were talking. It's like, isn't he gonna notice the third microphone? Nah, it's covered up. He noticed the third
The
microphone.
first thing he's like, oh, who's the third person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knew something was up.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
That's why I was looking around. I was like, all right, it doesn't happen. I like his WWE entrance.
I had to make fun with it, man. I had to have fun with it.
We weren't 100% ready, but the speaker should have been playing Bad Boys.
All right.
I meant to grab my small portable one, but like I said, I literally got up and just put this on and left.
He did the same thing. He took off.
Yeah.
Like I said,
Nah.
the intro wasn't planned out because you could have showed up any minute, and literally he was only there 2 minutes when you were here, like 2 minutes when oh shit, he's outside.
Yeah.
And boom, jumped in the back.
You know, I actually was going to get here sooner because I wasn't going to go back to sleep. So
Oh, damn.
I was going to be here at 4 and just hang out outside.
Our thing was
That's when I got up.
our thing was to get him here before you, because
Yeah.
you are on military time.
Yeah.
And then I told him, dude, should we sneak up from the back? I don't know. And Paul's ex-military. He might fucking snap you in half.
Yeah.
So even Letty, the wife's like, no, don't scare Paul. Don't
Nah,
fucking sneak up.
I don't get scared easy, but if you do scare me, it's not going to be very, very pleasant.
So I didn't want him waiting back there that much. So I told him that once I said like you're his name, like to come out, because I didn't want him waiting out there in the back
I
that
don't know
long.
what lurks back there.
Yeah, it's pretty scary back there. I'm not gonna lie, but I was a big boy.
I'm surprised he came out today. Dude.
I actually have one of the listeners, the lady that was going to be on the podcast that was supposed to be recorded today.
Yeah.
I told her, hey, this is the first time I'm going to have these two guys together, and she's heard the podcast, so she knows that you guys are not more Ricky, but you are like, I gotta be on top of him. She's I love Paul. Like the video you post that I posted on TikTok and social media about his, oh look, he's dying. He's the one that you sent me.
Yeah.
She was like, dude, I love Paul. So she goes, I get it, I understand. So we were scheduled for another day.
Are you guys really going on a bike ride?
Yeah.
Yup.
He challenged me.
You see the video?
Yeah, I saw the video.
Dude, I was messing around. I was like, where you at, Paul? Where you at? And
he
he's like-
did screenshot because I screenshotted my flight ticket to flight.
he
details.
literally.
Yeah, so I was gonna ask. So how much is it to bring your bike from Texas to here?
No, I have since I still have my house out here.
Oh,
I
right.
leave one bike here, but then I have like 2 bikes over there.
You can't even bring
okay.
your one bike from like an
Yeah.
hour away.
I'm about to say, dang, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Well, no, but I also have a bag, so I could take it apart because all the both wheels are quick release, and then I could put it in the bag and I just check it in as regular.
Okay.
And it's padded, it's everything. So those dummies,
When they
over
throw it in
throw
there,
it in there,
it's cool.
It's cool.
Okay.
So I could do it that way. I just have to be there a little early because they're gonna look at it as, okay, what is really in here? You know,
yeah.
Is it
They're
contraband?
They're gonna check it out for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So,
I was wondering about that when I was back there. And you said that, I was like, fuck, wait, that's right. This guy's coming from Texas. I wonder how it is bringing his bike over. But that makes sense. I didn't know they used to have your house here.
Because
That's cool.
my buddies that went to Oklahoma for a bike race, they all padded their stuff up. They had a big suitcase and they threw their bike gear in there. They threw their bike. They threw everything they're going to need to go to the race, and they just said, "We'll go with it out there." Then they found a local mechanic out there to help them just in case they needed something, and they just went, "All right, cool." And there he goes.
Damn.
But I remember I was sitting down, just finishing up my day with work and stuff. And then this guy sends me a video because remember, for 2 hours
That
ahead,
was my mistake.
He sends me a video. Where you at, Paul? And I was like, I was actually gonna get on my bike and show him where I'm at around town. And then my uncles and them were around me, and they're like, "Nah, fuck that. If he's challenged you, you go back and show him what's up."
Your uncles encouraged this?
Yeah.
So it was fueled, man.
Yeah,
it was fueled.
And I was what I thought. The first thing would come to mind was, I said, "All right, well, we'll figure it out." So I was gonna buy the flight, but I was like, nah, you know what? I'm just gonna show them the back countries over here. But then one of my uncles came in. He's like, "What's going on? What are you searching?" I go, "I got challenged to a bike ride," and he looked. Then my other uncle came in. He's all, "That motherfucker's challenging you. You go back there and show him what's up." I was laughing. I was like, "All right, cool." And then just got online, found the first flight out, and it was at 7 a.m. our time. I'll be here by 9 a.m.
Dang.
He wasn't joking, dude. Like, so I challenged him on a Wednesday. He's here on a Thursday.
Yeah.
No, he tells me on Thursday afternoon, and then I got on the first flight Friday morning, and I left here at 7. I landed here about 9 in the morning.
Dang.
And then the first thing after that was like, all right, well, I got to go warm up the legs. So I got home, said hi to the lady, like, "Hey, what's up?" Said hi to the dogs, and fucking clipped in and took off for a ride.
I told the wife this morning when I woke up. I woke up, my body alarm. I woke up. I've been awake since 3:30, but I laid there till 4.
Yeah.
I got up and the wife said, "What's up?" I'm like, "Fucking sucks having friends."
Yeah.
Fucking sucks having friends. It's my fault. My fault for having a big mouth.
No, I can't do these bike rides with you guys, man. I'm telling you, when I was riding back, my ass was on fire.
One, you were riding the shitty bike.
Yeah.
But
Two, you just need the chonies.
fine.
You gotta get the chonies, bro, or get a granny seat like he said.
I was looking at your seat and I'm like, Jesus Christ, the viejas with the big backsides use those, bro.
Now I can outbeat you, dude. I mean, not outbeat you. I mean, just last as long as you can. That's what I meant. That's what I meant.
You won't be able.
No, hell's no. You got a fucking fancy bike.
It's not the fancy bike, is you have to keep the pace. You got to remember, it's a long ride.
Yesterday, I did 12 miles, and I stopped once, just take a photo of the bike by the lake, and that's it. And then came back. No one slowed me down.
To the dam again, or?
Nah, I'm going to see how far we can go before we got to turn around. So my goal is to do the 20-mile loop I mapped out.
Oh, shit. He mapped out a 20-mile loop.
You're fucked, bro.
Yeah, fucked.
Good thing I'm going to San Diego after this. So I'll be chilling in the Tesla. Be like, damn, end's probably hurting right now.
And last time we were on the ride, I tried to tell him, I was like, you got to recover on the ride. So the way I've been training is I take like 5-minute increments to where it's just all out. Then after those 5 minutes, I stop and I just coast it to keep, and I keep doing it throughout the whole ride.
Okay, so you do like intervals in a sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when you start doing that, it starts building your endurance to where you're like, okay. But then that's when you start taking over like little hills. Then you start you start working it out that way. So that way you're just not. Because when I would see him, I'm looking at his gears. I'm like, that dude's in the hardest gear, and I know he's fucking hurting right now, dude. And sure enough, he just telling me, he's like, yeah, but you're gonna take off on me. It's like, don't worry about me, worry about your ass.
Yeah, that was my issue when we went. I was stuck in the hardest gear, but then on the downside, when we're coming back, and it's a downhill, it felt nice.
Yeah.
But then the bike was like, okay, awesome. Let me put you now in the lowest gear. So now I was back in technically the highest one.
Yeah.
And so my feet were moving at 20 miles an hour. The bike's going like 5. And my ass was on fire. That did not feel. Man, it was.
That's another thing I do
Yeah.
too. Is I will put it in the lowest gear that I can do, and I'll just keep spinning. And when you start repetition, you start spinning it. What it does is just get your legs built up to where it's like, all right, you get the lactic acid out of there, and then you put it back in your hard gears, and you start going even further.
Yeah, no, that was a struggle. I was like, fuck.
You need to get your bike over here. You text your parents or bring
I
your
did.
bike?
I messaged them, but I didn't look at my phone. I didn't want that shit to go off.
That's all right. I told him, man, he needs to bring his bike, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? This is a lot better than going to the gym. To me, I'm more entertained going on the bike ride. Even though I went yesterday by myself, I was more entertained.
Are
The
you
view.
not entertained?
The view, and then it's crazy because the one time that JoJo, he was fucking a year ago maybe, he went with me to the lake.
Who rode with you the other day?
Some stranger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, some guy that was like, right, hey man, you going on the bike? Let's go. And he didn't last. I made it all the way to the end of the dam where we come back, where we make the U-turn. He stayed where the hill goes up. That's it. He's I'm done here, and I came back.
Kind of like how I left you guys, you know.
Yeah, shut the hell up. Dude. Whatever, dude. You have a fancy bike.
Yeah, I didn't walk my bike up. I had to
He was walking, and we were still trying to catch up. Speaking of that day, how's the kitty you found?
Kitty's good, bro. Kitty's.
You kept it?
Yeah,
You kept
I
the
Oh,
cat,
wow.
Yeah, it's cleaned up. It has its own little room now, and
Dang.
yeah,
You hear that? The cat has his own fucking room.
yeah, it has its own little crate. Well, it's a closet.
Harry Potter, that shit.
It's a closet. It has its own little. Well, we set it all up for him. Then, whenever I'm home or whenever I come home or the missus, like she'll let him out and roam when the dogs are outside and let him roam, and then after that he goes back in there.
Yeah, that same weekend we ended up getting a cat too. So
Yeah.
I couldn't keep the one you found because we already had plans to go pick up this other cat.
Well, it was kind of, I don't know, it was kind of unexpected because you're seeing a cat on a bike trail and you're just like, holy shit,
It's beat up, man.
Yeah, so they fixed it, they did it, whatever, and I just kept online, just making sure that the cat was all right, and lo and behold,
You called it. The tail was broken.
Yeah.
Yeah, tail was
yeah.
broken.
So pretty much what they said is it looked like somebody grabbed it by the tail and just swung it. And,
No shit,
yeah,
huh?
because of where it was broken. Like, yeah, it seemed like somebody grabbed it, or she said it could have been a hawk. That hawk saw it and picked it up, but she didn't see the wounds there. But she says most likely it was a human grabbed it and fucking just hit it.
Like almost launched the type
Yeah,
thing.
launched
Dang.
it. Fucking. So that's why I was like, bastards. But then it was covered in oil and rust, and it was fleed out. So
Fleas I got, but I didn't think it would be damn oil and rust, huh?
yeah, they're like, yeah, that's why they had to shave its coat. They're like, yeah, because it was all knotted up. It had oil, you could smell the rust on them. So it was either somewhere wet or somebody poured it on them or something happened. And then it had a lot of fleas, so they took care of the fleas. They took care of all of that. So
Nice. Damn.
Yeah, that's cool, Paul. That's what makes you Paul, man. That's awesome, dude. Like you, and then that day you had also a fucking encounter on the freeway again.
yeah, saved a transient on the freeway.
Oh Jesus, yeah.
Yeah, because what was crazy is because I'm trying to find all these shelters that like Baldwin Park. Baldwin Park basically told me, oh, if it's healthy, then we can't take it in. So basically, you either keep it or you just take it back to where you found it.
You talking about the cat?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, all right. So I was finding all these shelters, trying to find
Okay.
trying to take the cat. When I went to Pasadena, they were like, "You sure?" And I'm like, "You know what, dude? Just fix it. I'll cover the bill and I'll keep it." So when I was driving back, sure enough, dude, I see all the cars moving on the 210. They're like swerving out, and people are almost hitting each other. Then when I came up, shit, you know, as a transient having an episode on the 210 freeway. So I stopped, hit the hazards, immediately I have my buddy that works for CHP, so I called called the CHP number right away because he does a foothills
Varsity.
division.
You called varsity.
Yeah, I went straight to the good old boys, bro. The guys you need.
Yeah.
The guys that patrol all the streets and say, you know what, local cops need our help too.
You know what? You guys everyone here deserves a ticket.
And I called him right away, and he's like, all right, I know who's on duty right now. He called him. And dude fucking was going wild. He almost pushed me into the oncoming. And I was like, oh fuck! And I pushed him back, and then the cops rolled up behind me, and fucking they're like, oh, we got it, dude. You could roll, and they got him in the back of the car, and that was it, dude.
Yeah.
I think the day I tripped out was the day that Paul literally took his sandals off to give them to a homeless guy that was walking with no shoes on.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, damn, this guy, like, you've made me be a little better at that. We went to Ventura a couple weekends ago, and we pulled up to the exit on Victoria, you know, to head turn left to go towards like Oxnard.
Yeah.
And there was a guy there asking for change. You know, I hardly ever carry change, but I happened to have money that day, and I'm like, hey, flagged him over, gave him the money in my wallet. It was like $4, and then, like, you know, the kids and the wife.
Yeah.
They're looking at me. I'm like, I'll just sleep better at night. Whatever he needs that for doesn't matter. I don't care. I will sleep better at night, knowing that I gave him that.
Yeah.
You know, like, you've made me a better person at that.
Yeah.
You know?
I like during the summer times, if I would be here, I would carry around a cooler full of water. If I see some of these guys, I'll just toss them waters.
Yeah.
Like I'll go to Costco and buy the big packs, and I'll have my big Gilera, and I'll just be like out there just tossing shit to them. And people trip out. They're like, "Why are you doing that?" I go, "Because no one else is gonna do it. They're just gonna look at you like, like it's a waste of money, you know." And it's like these fools are the same thing. If I see some guys, like when I used to ride the bike trail, right here, I would actually go in there once a month and give them all dog food because they all have dogs, and those dogs don't have food. So I would give them a bunch of shit too.
Yeah, that's exactly what the one of my coworkers would do, because again, same thing. A lot of the homeless people do have dogs, so she has the dog food and cat food. So whenever she would be patrolling, she'll kind of make her rounds around there and kind of feed all the dogs, stuff like that. Just again,
because
they're all loyal to their owners, and they're trying to take care of the dogs. Sometimes they can't always give them food because sometimes they're not eating themselves. So she'll kind of roll out there, give them all some food.
There's a trip though. Some of these guys would feed their dog before they eat. You know, because like you said, they have to them that's their only family.
That's their companion.
That's their companion. And I tripped out one day. I was driving in West Covina, and the cops had pulled someone over, and they had like animal control.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they were trying to take his dog away or they were just checking on the dog, just courtesy, because he was there and he had like those white trucks and shit.
Usually when that happens, there's a complaint.
Okay.
Somebody complained.
Well, when I came back out, the guy was walking with his dog, so they didn't take his dog from him.
Yeah, no. Usually when that happens, there's a complaint.
You notice I let the dogs out? I'm like, this guy criticizes me for being a bad dog owner.
Well, no, it's 'cause you leave him in the back, and look how cheerful he was.
We physically blocked them from going to the backyard now.
Yeah,
because the backyard is just dirt, and you tell me something and I'll address it. Yeah. Dude, he called me a shitty dog owner the last time he was here.
I heard the podcast.
It was bad.
I heard
That's how we start. When do I start my podcast like that? Do I hit record and he starts talking? It wasn't even.
It was perfect.
It was perfect timing.
Perfectly timed.
Yeah. Fucking A, dude.
Well, it wasn't for my other two dogs that I became pretty much a dog lover. Like I did not have the same passion I had until I owned my two dogs. Now the passion is like, okay, I gotta treat them the way I would want to live. Like I wouldn't feed them bullshit,
Yeah.
because I wouldn't eat bullshit. So why am I gonna feed it? I even got on you about your dog food.
You did, yes. I gotta buy better dog food. I just buy the yellow bag, dude. That's all I do.
Don't tell me pedigree, bro. You don't
Did
buy
I say
pedigree.
yellow bag? I meant blue bag.
Oh.
No, bro. You get
okay. Now I got two of you on me. Okay, all right.
There's like
hey. At least my dog isn't pregnant by Sancho.
No, luckily it is Hercules. So.
How do you know? How do we know?
We looked at the dates.
Okay.
Well,
So his what's it called? What kind of dog do you have? Two of them.
Bulldogs.
Yeah.
The female dog is pregnant,
Okay.
and his wife shared a picture of when they were babysitting our brother-in-law's dog.
Yeah.
And that dog was a little hyper, you know. A little,
And he's a Yorkie.
Should we do a Maury?
I said to group text, homeboy, if she's pregnant by your dog, you're gonna have to pay some child support.
Yeah.
So he responded, no, if the male dog is pregnant, then I'll pay child support.
Because our brother-in-law's dog, his name's Tommy. The dog's name's Tommy.
It's a cool little dog too.
He's blind. He's a blind little Yorkie. He's I think like 4 years old.
Yeah.
And for some reason he liked my male Hercules. He would smell my female and like he would smell Hercules and be like, oh yeah, this is him, and start humping him.
So that dog is the Freddie Mercury of the dogs.
Okay. All right.
So
it's the right month for it too.
yeah, but luckily we did some math and looking at when we had him compared to when the two dogs got stuck, Hercules and Athena, and it was already past like that date window, whatever, when the pregnancy should have been.
What are you guys gonna do with the pups?
So get them registered, and then we have our 2 dogs plus the cat, so we're probably just gonna sell them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's probably what's gonna end up happening. Right now, the vet says she for sure sees 4. So, but my female was not. Athena was not comfortable on her back, so she wasn't really cooperating with the ultrasound. So it's like 4, maybe a couple more. It's just hard to tell. But
Yeah,
4
because
for
they're
sure.
only good for 2 litters, and after 2 litters.
Yeah, no, yeah, honestly, this is a little young. We didn't think Hercules was gonna be able to actually mount, because that's very uncommon for French bulldog to actually be able to, mate naturally.
Trust me, I had to hold my friend's bulldog to hump, like
Oh, no
literally the English bulldogs.
Yeah.
I had to hold them. He's all, hold them, dude. He's
shit.
like, I go, what do you mean? He's like, just hold them. And then he just guided the girl to him. And I was like, dude, this is like a 3-way, bro. like, you want me to guide it in? Or what? He's like, nah, he's good. Just hold him.
You know what he's doing? You gotta just hold him right there. And
Wow.
Yeah, I know, but I woke up and I looked down the bed and I saw them stuck. I heard them kind of scrambling. I'm like, I'm like, oh fuck, they're stuck. I'm like, oh, but yeah, she turns a year next month, so a little early. But this was her 3rd period, so doctor said it's fine, everything's healthy so far. So I was like, all right, a little earlier than we expected, but
Damn, she's a teen mom, bro.
yeah,
Fair trade,
yeah.
bro. I give you 2 full grown ass dogs for all those puppies.
I'm good, man.
2 full grown ass
good.
dogs. They wipe their own ass. They wipe their own ass.
Well, if they wipe their own ass, that means they got some problems. If you see them scooting around,
You got
All right,
some-
enough of bike
You
talks
got
and
some
dog talk.
worms.
Okay?
You got some
Enough.
worms in there. You got some worms in there, man.
Jesus, because you're feeding them that crap.
Oh my god.
Might as well go to McDonald's and feed them with that.
Once that container is empty, I will gladly buy them a different color bag.
No, you got to go blue buffalo. Bro.
Okay, Blue Buffalo. This is now recorded here forever. But now, okay, let's get to business. Ricky had a good topic idea. That's the reason why I told him, fucking come by.
So the topic it's funny because I kind of just been coming across this recently. So I text Andy a question. I was like,
Well, I'm
Like-
sleeping.
yeah. Well, I mean, it came to me at that time. I'm like, fuck, man.
That's fine. I'm missing.
And so I just asked him. I was like, what characteristics do you think makes a good well, for you guys, like what makes a good father, stuff like that. Like what characteristics and how does one become a good father? And I was thinking about that because I was like, well, like Andy said, he didn't really, have a father. Correct me if I'm wrong. And
I never knew my father.
yeah, so I'm like, so Andy, yeah, like, he's like, oh, I want to be everything my dad wasn't, but like, how does one really figure that out?
Well, I never had my dad either. To generalize it, I don't think there is no characteristics to say you're going to be a good father because you have to do it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't compare yourself to, like, oh, I want to be like my dad, how he was, or I want to be like that guy, how he was because it's different circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
So you pretty much have to raise them the best that you can raise them. Because look at your job, you're going to be away from him for many hours.
Mm-hmm.
You may be coming home and they're like, hey, where you at? You get an on call, you might go, So already you're coming in as different than other fathers who are 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
You know, who are going to be there. I think the one main characteristic that I would say to make a good father would just be involved in their life.
Involved.
And I think when you said based on I want to be everything my father wasn't, I said it as he was never here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm already one step ahead of him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Now, growing up and realizing how things are or were, do I blame him for leaving? Hells no. Hells no. You know, I was in my late 20s when I found out that my mom bumped into him, and instead of giving him my number, she threatened him with child support.
Yeah.
Like, I'm fucking in my almost 30. Like, are you serious? So that like I said, I don't blame him for bouncing. But then again, the discovery that I made was, who the fuck really is my dad?
You know what? But the thing with me was, my dad bounced because he wanted to bounce. And I remember being 6 years old, waiting to do a DNA test, but my mom was telling me it's only for school. But I'm like, but why is there a bunch of like courthouses and stuff around here? She's like, so don't worry about it. But to come to find out, it was because my dad was denying me, and
shit.
he needed it.
And your mom wasn't trying to, like, she wasn't trying to scare you in a way, like.
Nah, my mom never told me what was going on until I found out later, like when I was older, that because I remember the DA coming to me and telling me like, hey, well, we just arrested your dad for unpaid child support. I'm like, okay, like, are you willing to press charges? I'm like, why am I going to press charges, dude?
They were asking you this?
Yeah. I go, why am I going to? I go, and they wanted me to go in his case because they were going to deport him. I'm like, I was like, I never really knew him. I go, so why would I step in? And my mom, and that's when I found out. And she's like, yeah, that day I told you we were there for school, that was your DNA test.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't know that. And I remember sitting there, like, looking around, like,
And that guy was your dad?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, my uncle's in Texas. That's all his family is.
Oh,
crazy.
okay.
Yeah. I didn't get a relationship with my dad till, like, I was about, like, 24, 25.
Oh, okay.
Damn, okay.
Yeah. And then
like again, like, to me, it's like, to me, when I read those documents that my grandma sent me, it's like, wait a minute, Martinez is not even my dad. You know, that guy that she was married to is not my dad. DNA proved this guy named Francisco Medina was my dad.
So your
Medina?
Medina.
So my last name's Medina.
Oh, Medina.
My wife told me that, no, you make it what you make. You made it Martinez. It's Martinez. Don't.
Damn, he's a sham.
So it's funny because before I started working at Walmart, the store manager's name was Francisco Medina, and I actually at one point had the courage to go ask him if he knew my mom, and he fucking fucking flat out denied it. That means that fucker was a player himself. So it couldn't even been, because it's funny, dude. The fool was light skinned and colored ice.
That's fun. That's why you got hired.
I'll shut him up that way.
Did your mom hang out on Oxnard Boulevard? Because that's where my mom hung out.
Oxnard Boulevard and Cooper.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, 5
But
points.
the part that I tripped out on was, okay, so when I was about 2 years old, my mom had called the police, and the police had to escort me out of this one house, right? Turned out that guy was her husband. This guy, knowing I wasn't his kid, still wanted me around. Mm-hmm. And I guess whatever happened, I don't remember the details. I just remember being picked up. That's the only that is the only thing I remember, is being picked up by the police and then just walking towards Colonia. This was like in, not Rose Park, but not Colonia. You know the houses behind where the projects used to be at? Those little blocks, whatever, before 3rd Street? It was one of those houses. And every time I drove by that block as an adult, I was like, I can remember exactly what that backyard looks like. They had a freaking tamal. What do you call those freaking? Pinches plantas, esas nopales in the corner, and they had like a chicken coop on the side. I remember exactly. I was like 2, bro. I remember trying to ride my bike down the little bike, the driveway there. So I remember all that.
Okay.
That guy wasn't my dad, but he wanted me around. So it's like. And whenever I saw my Nino and my Nina, they would tell me that he was a good dude, and then my grandpa really loved him. I'm like, well, that's good to know. I mean, you know, fucking, I didn't know the guy.
Yeah.
So, again, I'm already one step ahead of my dad by being here for my kids. You know, because I had the opportunity of fucking, my baby's mom was driving me crazy to the point where I'm like, I can't do this. And I had, you know, ex-girlfriend was like, dude, you want to just come with us to Reading? I could have fucking taken off to Reading.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even be here. But what I said was no, I can't leave my kids behind. And that day she dropped me off, and we went on our merry ways. And she never even got to meet my kids because I always said that I am not going to just introduce my kids to just anybody.
Yeah.
Meaning females, because it's like, I don't want them getting attached to somebody.
So basically you were like your dad, a big player.
No, I wasn't a player. No, I was single already. No, I wasn't a player. I wasn't a player. No, I wasn't a player. But, so my thing was, I'm not going to do that, you know, to the kids. Again, I don't want them getting attached to somebody that's not going to be there. Again, because why? I grew up that way. I grew up, my mom having multiple, you know, boyfriends, and, oh, I kind of like this dude. Shit, where's he going? Where are you going, bro? There's multiple times where I cried because homeboy was leaving.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's the point of getting attached to these dudes if they're just going to fucking bounce? Again, that's why I don't blame my dad for fucking bouncing. Because I saw it.
Yeah.
I saw it. It's like, she can drive people crazy. You know, she fucking drives into the extent, to the edge of fucking jumping off a cliff. And, so, but when I got full custody of the kids, you know, also, do I feel that I'm a great father? I think the great is going above my definition, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Because I told the wife one day, I'm like, fuck, did I make a mistake by getting custody of these kids? Because of my tantrums, because of my triggers. I see Jojo pulling a lot of those now. So it's like, fuck, did I become a bad role model? Am I a bad role model?
You're saying that he's picking up your tendencies?
Like, he's picking up my my little tantrums and like little, you know, when I throw a fit, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm noticing that, and I question myself. It's when you asked me that question on the text the other day, that's the first thing that came to mind. I'm like, because I told the wife, I asked her, did I make the wrong decision by getting full custody of them?
Yeah.
Because they're picking up my habits or my tantrums.
Well, that should be just a quick eye opener to where, all right, I need to check myself. Like, is that tantrum really worth it? You know. But to answer Officer Ricky, there's really no characteristics that you can define to a dad that's gonna make him a great dad, because to each his own, you know.
Yeah.
But the one thing I would say is, when you have a kid, you're gonna have other family members come in and be like, no, don't worry, I did this all the whole time with, you know, they're all gonna put their 2 cents in, but all I say is just raise the kid to where you're comfortable and how you're raising them and how you're handling the baby, everything towards you, because it's not their baby, it is your baby.
Yeah.
Some people are gonna get pissed off because no, look at I raised, but I said it one time to my ex's mom, where she tried to tell me like, oh, you know, like I raised them. I was like, I seen your handiwork. No, you fucking leave my kid alone. You know. And now that guy is, you know, 20 just turned 21. So now he's a United States Marine as well, and he's gonna buy his own house when he gets back. And I'm just looking at it like, shit, like we did good, man.
Yeah.
So,
And to Paul's point, he's right, dude. Because example, the wife was taking care of these 2 little kids, and they had a doctor's checkup once, and they asked the mom, hey, who's watching these kids while you're at work? Andy's wife. And they're like, well, you tell this Andy's wife that she's doing a very good job with your kids. You know, my wife got credited for, or praised for the way these kids were being raised. Now that my wife is not watching these kids, we see a total 360. And it's like, yeah, those are the little kids that you were taking care of. It's kind of like bad. So to Paul's point, it's like everyone's going to throw in their input, but you have to raise them the way that you want to raise them, like the way that you need to raise them. You know, it's like, you can't, you know, have grandma sneak up behind, you know, the grandma's cookies and grandma's this, and no, dude, because then they're gonna get that, they're gonna throw a tantrum. They're gonna throw a tantrum and they're gonna get what they want. Every time they throw a tantrum and they get what they want, they know already. Fuck yeah! All I gotta do is throw a tantrum.
Yeah, of course.
And then they're gonna get what they want.
So kind of leading up with that, then I had this other question too, that I've seen a lot. So it's
As a cop, I bet you see a lot, dude. Yeah.
oh yeah. Well, I mean that's what we deal with mainly.
Yeah.
You know. But
Because the varsity team's dealing with the big stuff.
Yeah,
yeah,
big
man,
boy
yeah,
stuff.
they got
Big boy stuff.
the transients on the freeways. You know, we're being parents out there too. So it's what's more important, giving your kids the knowledge and success to succeed, or validating their feelings? And obviously, you know, the obvious answer is obviously, oh well, you need to do both. Yeah, I understand you need to do both, and obviously each kid's gonna be different. But if everything was neutral playing field, everything was completely neutral, which do you guys think would be more important, giving them the knowledge and skills to succeed in this game of life, or is it validating their feelings and their emotions of the person that they are?
Me personally, I would not put validating their emotions, because if I validate it, the world out there is not going to validate it.
Mm-hmm.
The world's not going to be comforting to them. Like I sent this guy a clip that says, you know what? If you put yourself around the same people, say, nah, we're good, we're okay, you're going to stay in that same point. There's not going to be any more forward progress. It's going to take a guy like me talking shit to this guy to put those little steps in there. So, but I would think it would be the second one would be, you know, teaching them the value of life, because it's not just because of money, all that. It's also teaching them the morals of life, how to carry yourself throughout your life, respect, and, you know, just conducting yourself in a moral way throughout that, you know, to where you're going to look back and be like, okay, I was a decent human being. I wasn't a fucking son of a bitch, because I'm seeing little kids these days and I'm looking at it like, okay, I was an asshole, but these guys are complete assholes. Like,
Yeah.
Like, I'm seeing them call little girls like hoes, bitches, and I'm just like, holy shit. Like, and I remember my daughter came, I remember one time off the bus and said, you know what, like, I can't take the bus. I'm like, why? She's like, because they're smoking weed, they're selling weed, they're cussing, and I'm like, what the fuck, are you serious? And sure enough, dude, there's kids that are getting off the bus, going to the park, sparking it up. I'm like, holy shit! Like,
I remember walking from school for like 30 miles because I refused to get in the car with my friend that she was smoking pot. Like, that was like, I wouldn't do it. But with the feelings, I mean, okay, Nick, for example, would allow Jojo to get under his skin, and it got annoying, right? It's like, dude, you're letting him get under your skin. You're giving him what he wants. That's what he wants, to get under your skin, and you're giving it to him. And then Jojo's being a little bully. So when they had that shooting in Surges, or up there in by Santa Clarita, I had to sit him down, and I had to tell him reality, dude. I had to tell him, I'm not gonna sugarcoat this shit. That kid probably shot up that school because he was being bullied. So I don't need you to be a fucking target, and I don't need you to be the shooter. And the wife's like, kind of like, babe, I have to have this conversations with them, because this is reality. This is the fucking reality that we live in. When I was in high school, there was one shooting. The one shooting that started it all. The one in Colorado. What was it called? Fucking
Columbine.
Yeah,
Columbine. That was it. Then my brother was in school, and there was a fucking shooting at the school when he got home fucking face yellow.
But the thing is, you diverted it because I'm probably gonna get a lot of shit for this, but I'm gonna say this: how involved were those parents in that kid's life to know what was going on?
And that's another thing. Like
you are actually involved in your kids to point it out, be like, hey, you're being an asshole. This is what's gonna happen. Those people that have that kid that went and literally got a gun to go shoot is because it's a failed system and a failed family.
And that's I mean, he's right. I mean,
it is.
It's like, but I mean, it's everyone's different, I guess, in a way. You know, like I said, like me, the way I grew up, look, fucking 57 podcast episodes already, 58, whatever. I have fucking stories, but never did I ever think about going and fucking shooting anybody.
Yeah, because George Lopez, Paul Rodriguez said that shit. He's like, man, that's white people shit. Dude.
Yeah.
They've been shooting in school videos forever.
Yeah, and like I said, that day is like, it was a harsh, I felt like it was a harsh conversation, but it needed to be said.
Yeah, no.
You know, and I noticed that ever since then, little by little, Nick's been like, I don't want to get in trouble. Because, like I tell them, he gets mad because, you don't tell him anything. Nick gets all pissed off. You don't tell JoJo anything. I'm like, because I'm hearing you. I'm going to punish who I hear. Because they'll be fighting, they'll be bickering, and I'm just sitting there. And let this again do something about it. It hasn't got under my skin yet. Hold on. They keep going, and then I just like, boom. And then JoJo, Nick explodes. And like, you're in trouble for this, but you're more in trouble because I heard you. If I'm in bed, I'm trying to sleep, and the person that wakes me up by screaming is the person who's going to get in trouble. Even though he pissed you off, I didn't see him piss you off. I saw you explode. And he's like I said, little by little, he's been catching it. He's been catching himself. I'm just going to wash this dish down because I don't want to get in trouble. And I think that's what I would do. I would go play video games instead of getting pissed off and exploding. And now he's doing it by like washing dishes or...
Well, because I mean, his games are in the room. He wants to get away from JoJo. He wants to get away from JoJo.
Exactly. You know? So, I mean, does that make me a great parent? I think I'm trying to teach them, because once they hit adulthood, like I told him, if once you're an adult and you hit him, even Rick can come over here and fucking arrest you. So, do you want that? And I heard the fucking LA County jails are bad.
No, they're closing down Central. So
they're good. They're good. He's good.
Bro, you're closing
all right, if you
Central.
want to get arrested in Ventura County, because I was there and it was all right.
Okay.
I heard they cancel handball though, but you know.
But then also, you can only go to jail unless you want to press charges.
Yeah.
And you look like a little girl in the cop's eyes. You be like, you really gonna press charges? You just took an ass whooping. Yeah.
From your little brother. How does that sound?
Yeah, no, I guess I started thinking about it because I started, like I said, for some reason, these podcasts kind of came in, the ones I've been listening to, and they all kind of had the similar topics. And so it made me to start thinking about that. Especially, I think it was because Fall Day had just passed. So everyone was kind of talking about like, their uprising and stuff like that, and like their successes and failures as parents, stuff like that. So, but that question of like the skills and validation kind of made me think, because I was like, fuck, man, that's kind of true, because a lot of successful people talk about how they kind of, in this very sense, like, dehumanize a sense where they're like, hey, I don't really care about my feelings, so I for sure I'm not going to give two fucks about what you think about me, you know, because I'm going to do what I need to do, you know, to one, either be successful or accomplish what I'm trying to accomplish, and no one's going to get in my way. But at the same time, on the flip side of it, I've seen some of like their kids, or they're talking about, like Will Smith and Kevin Hart were talking about their kids and how they fucked up in that sense, because they were trying to give them all those tools of success through their eyes, but not really validating how they felt. And that's why a lot of rebellious stages are kind of where they kind of felt, because their kids were like, oh, you know what, he doesn't really see me for who I am and all stuff, so therefore I lost that connection.
Was it Will Smith that told him? I think Will Smith told his kid said something about, hey, we're rich, right, Dad? He goes, Will Smith's like, no, I'm rich, not you.
Yeah, but you got to realize those guys are giving them the tools they need by all means necessary. So if you want to go do that, all right, cool, I got the money, let's go do that. And Will and Kevin are said the same thing. They're giving them everything they do, the tools they need for success, but you're giving them at a price. You're not teaching them the other side, to where they're getting it and they're like, okay, it's cool, you know, we're, in your sense, they're not saying they're rich, but they're just saying like, hey, we got you, like, don't worry, whatever you want to do, boom, boom. And that's the way they're seeing their successes. Okay, I'm able to provide material things and money, what money can buy, because I didn't have this growing up. But they're not teaching them the other value of, okay, their feelings of what they feel about. Because honestly, all these rich kids and where they grow up in the industry, a lot of them don't do shit. A lot of them they really don't do anything.
It's like, you think about like Paris Hilton, and like, what is it that you do? You went on a reality show, and that's, well, what is it that you do? And I mean, I'm just the first person that came to mind.
Yeah.
But back to the comment that I made when I made that promise to myself about, you know, I'm never going to say I can't afford it, you know, to the kids. So now, you know, have you earned it? And, you know, like when I first started working and I had my route, you know, out in Santa Barbara, the kids would see like, why the hell is it that you come home so late and you come home tired? Like you don't want to play anything. Nick literally has asked me over and over again, Dad, can we go play baseball? Can we go play catch? Can we go play catch? So if you're not doing nothing Sunday, come on by. I got the kids. Well, I didn't get the, one of the bosses overheard me saying about baseball, and yesterday he handed me two gloves. I'm like, well, then lunch is on me next time because he don't want me to pay for them. So he hooked me up with 2 baseball gloves, and so like I said, back to
just don't make him a Dodger fan,
right? Don't make them Dodger fans. Well, I ain't gonna make them what you're wearing on your hat.
Yeah, don't
I mean, you might come around and it might linger to you and be like, they already love you, so I don't know. Don't influence them. Okay, here we go. His parenting skills can influence my kids to become. No, not gonna happen.
No, it's called who's gonna be out there working with them while the other one's tired. Like.
So, anyways, one day I decided to drive them to Santa Barbara, and they're like, "Fuck, that's a long drive." Okay, I do this every day, and then I took them to a couple on a Saturday. Fuck it, let me show you what it is that I do, like a teaching moment.
Mm-hmm.
We went to a liquor store, and I'm like, "Hey, what's going on, Tony?" Fucking what was that? What was it?
Is it off? No.
It's that first one on that route before. It's still Santa Barbara before Goleta, and it's on the 101.
I know.
What was it called?
About.
It's gonna bug me now.
It's right after Scotty's exit.
Yes.
The last part right there.
It's like literally you get off the freeway and it's a liquor store. Boom, and then right behind it is like a trailer park.
It's on the way to go to Lake. The other way to go to Lake Kachuma.
Well, he's not there anymore, so it is what it is. We'll think about the name later. Tony was a cool guy, dude. I have him on Facebook. He'll comment, "Hey, happy birthday" or whatever. My friend, and he was a cool dude. Like back problems, but he was a cool dude, older man. So I'm like, "Hey, I'm just gonna teach him what it is that I do." He goes, "Perfect." The cooler is empty. Fuck, wrong day. So fuck, Saturday morning, bro. Everybody was drinking Friday night.
Yeah, makes sense.
And I'm all right, he'll come on, get in here. And he's freaking. I'm stuck. He's stuck in the Four Locos, stuck in the singles and everything. I'm like, I got him in there, and like, Dad, it's cold. Okay, I got to do this every day. Come on. So Jojo was like 5, dude.
Yeah.
And he was all right, cool. I thought he was gonna go home and be like, Dad, this, tell the wife this was exhausting. I'm tired, but I had so much fun. Oh my God, that wasn't supposed to be fun. And it didn't help that Scotty was out there too. And we met up with Scotty.
So you guys are admitting you're working off the clock?
No. We weren't working off the clock. No. We're just out there. Scotty was going to Shumash. Shumash Casino. And met up with Scotty, and he was breaking down some boxes. I can get fired for something that happened already a long time ago. He was breaking down boxes, and Jojo was happy to freaking throw the boxes away and shit. And Jojo, like, fuck it. Scotty's like, you're having such a good time, and a big helper. He went and bought him this fucking big old pizza and shit. Like, and again, he comes home and that was fun. That wasn't supposed to be fun.
You know what's crazy is because my go to work story was I went working with my grandpa and my Nino in the strawberry fields. Like, they were like, all right.
Mom took me to strawberry fields a couple times.
You want to go work? They were like, let's go.
Yeah.
Great.
And I was just like, all right there. My grandpa worked at a nursery out there in Point Waimea by Point Magoo. So he was like, all right. So I remember spending the summers out there watering all the plants. He would tell me this section, this section. I'm not talking about little sections. He's all, this needs to be done by this time. And by the whole day, I finally get to the end of the fucking 3-mile fucking sections of.
I think I know where you're at. I think I know which fields you're talking about.
By Pacific Sod and all
that.
Yeah, right there.
All the way to Las Posas and freaking Winnie Road, all that area. Yeah,
that's where my grandpa worked at.
That's crazy.
I would work out there and fill all the plants, dude, with their waters. Even though they had drip systems, he's like, no, chingale, there you go.
Yeah. Yes. No, well, Nick now has gotten to the point where he's like, Dad, I stopped giving him allowance because you guys we haven't gone to the backyard. We haven't cleaned the backyard. We stopped at a point and that's it. We haven't continued. And then I got home. The wife texted me today, hey, just letting you know Nick was in the backyard kind of cleaning up the backyard, like weeds and dog poop, whatever. And I'm like, shit, all right, cool, whatever. I come back, Dad, I was working in the backyard so I can start getting my allowance again. I'm like, so the value of, maybe that, me showing them that what I have to do to make money, maybe that stuck. And now he's doing the same thing. So again, the point of your question is, I mean, does that make me a great dad? I think we're setting him up for success. I mean, he likes to earn money, and he's only going on 14, so I feel that we're doing a good job, at making him knowing that he's going to have a good work ethic. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, no, and that's exactly what I hate what my dad does. And that was my kid stories going to work with my dad, was him being an electrical contractor. He would take me sometimes, and it would be like a hit and miss. Sometimes he needed me because he's running late and he needs a carpool buddy. Yeah. And so I'm just there hanging out, being one of the guys, doing nothing. But sometimes I'm in the attic, pulling wire, doing all the fun as a kid. That shit sucked. And it gave me respect for what he did. I 100% respect what he did. I hated it, but he would give me $20 at the end of the day. And to a 10-year-old, you're like, fuck, I'm a millionaire. Like, fuck, I got this $20.
Yeah.
So so that, and when I was working, because my dad works fast, he works at a fast pace, so he taught me like that type of hard work and like that type of like labor intense type of environment. So it this all came over to everything that I do now, is that I try to really I really am a believer that hard work does pay off. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer, but that eventually, that if you are consistent with it and good, that it does pay off.
Another example to your question is your parents. I feel they did a good job. I feel they did a great job raising you because of who you are. So that answers, I guess, one of your, like I said, your question, because they did a good job raising you. So whatever your dad did, I'm sure you're going to do the same thing with your kids. But back to Paul, what Paul says, you can't allow other people to influence, because it's gonna influence their behavior.
Also, I just think you can validate your kids' feelings, but you also got to reassure them and let them know, like, because we could all have our kids in solid foundations. Like, me and Andy came from a fucking rocky foundation. Like, we didn't have solid mom and dad. Like, my mom wasn't really involved with my life either. She was more or less like, I'm here, like, he's there. He has a roof.
She's like, I'm here so I won't get fined.
Yeah, like Zach Greinke. I'm only here because I won't get fined. No, but he was with the Dodgers, dude. He hates showing up to spring training, and finally the Dodgers said, "We're gonna fine you if you don't show up." And he showed up, and he was just like, and they made a meme about, I'm only here because I don't want to get fined. But nah, dude. We came from rocky foundations to where now we have the ability to give our kids a foundation that what we learned over time. Ricky's came from both of his
silver
parents
spoon in his mouth.
Silver spoon.
Not a silver, but it was for sure stable. I'm not gonna say it's like you guys. I'm not gonna try to front. It wasn't.
It was a little different, but
asshole.
But you're gonna have guys like us compared to guys like you, and it could go a different way. So, you're building your kid up to, you're validating all these feelings, validating all this, but then you're going to have this kid who's going to be like, fuck that guy, fuck this. Because his own insecurities are coming out because he's jealous of your son. So that's why I always go by the model, you got to callous the mind, because you have to build them up to where the world's not going to be easy for you, man. It's not going to be that great for you. You're going to get chewed out, spit out. It's just, if you keep the self-discipline, you keep going forward, you'll be all right. Because I don't like the participation trophies they give out at Little League these days.
So that's kind of like my I guess final question when it comes to like parenthood is, why do you think that has all become such like a norm now, that hey, my kid's perfect, and anyone complaining about my kid is a piece of shit because my kid can't do wrong. And I really do believe that that's the reason why a lot of these kids are growing up to be so soft and sensitive, is because their parents are trying to, like, I don't want to say enable, but they're allowing it to happen when, like, hey, your kid's kind of a piece of shit too, like, fuck. Because, I see some of these kids, I'm like, dude, this kid's a piece of shit, like, fuck.
Because they don't want to be told. It's the culture we live in. I call it the cancel culture, Me Too era that we live in. You cannot state anything against somebody unless you're either being called a racist or you don't support us, or it's just, and that's leading into how you're raising your children. I see it all the time with, with my nephews, where they're assholes, and I tell them to their face, "You're a fucking asshole," and they look at me, and my sister gets mad. She's like, "Don't call them that." No, they're not. I was like, "This dickhead was literally flicking this for no reason," and she was like, "He is okay. Leave him alone."
He's
and then,
expressing himself.
and then she would come to me later and tell me, "You need to stop doing that." She's like, "I hate it when fucking dad came and did that." I started laughing. I was like, "At least he was involved in your life."
Yeah.
I go, and she was like, "I hate it when he did that. I want to do this." I go, "That's why he's going to grow up the way he's going to grow up."
Yeah, and again, kids. I learned when I was in parenting classes that a kid's mind hardens at 5.
Yeah.
And at 5 years old, that personality they have at 5, that's who they're going to be, and that personality is only going to get stronger. It's going to get worse, pretty much. Like just the other day, I told the wife, "Fuck, that little kid over there was being a little prick. I can't blame him. I blame the parents."
Yeah.
Of
course.
Like with me, back to me, it's like, I actually, when I was going to therapy, the counselor would always ask me, "Hey, have you, the therapist, whatever?" The guy was cool, fucking Tom Prince. I gave him props. Too bad he retired. But
Your therapist is not supposed to be cool.
he's cool, dude. I like him. No, I like him. No, I mean cool because he fucking pointed out some bullshit. So he would always ask me every session, "Have you forgiven your mother?" No. Every time. No, I have not forgiven her. No, I have not. Why? Because I was seeing the same patterns again with my little brothers. I'm seeing the same pattern. No, I haven't. So when I told him what was going on, he was like, "Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense." So then one day I came to Jesus moment, Paul's phrase, and I realized, wait a minute, I know Spanish because of my mom. I'm on time with my bills because of my mom. I'm doing this because of my mom. I'm here for my kids because of my mom. I'm here because of my mom. Because why? Because I'm not repeating that same pattern. I am not repeating that same pattern. So that makes me a good dad.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
What Ricky's asking is, how is it going to go forward to?
No, I fucking, when I'm talking to, I lose train of thought.
I think
but
we all do.
what do you call it? The forgiving the mother part, right? Like, I finally accepted it, and I freaking forgive her. And like I said, I mean, I don't know, man. Just the way that I was raised, it's made me not to be like that. In that sense,
it goes back to the episode of when how we do the phrases of like, "Oh man, when I was that age, I would have got my ass whooped. I would have done this." It's funny because we're the ones who lived it, and we're the ones who could actually be like, "Nah, fuck this. I'm gonna whoop his ass." I remember when I was young, and I would be all right. And I don't like those comparisons because people don't realize, like, we can continue that.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to be like, "Oh, shit, when I was 5 years old, I would have got my ass whooped." Now, when that person does this, it's like, "Skylar, you're not supposed to do that. Don't do that."
You want me to take a gold star?
Yeah, well, we're not going to do that because we all remember, we're like, yeah, right now I would have been outside getting the fucking either chancla to the ass or belt or something. Like, I remember my mom had the boomerang fucking serape. Like, I didn't know where fucking, like, it would whip. But
I was asked like if I spanked the kids. Like when CPS was called on me multiple times, I told the kids, be honest. And I remember the one time, like, fuck, I'm going to jail because they asked Jojo, they asked Julian, "Hey, does your dad spank you?" And he looked at me. Don't look at me like you're fucking scared to answer the question. I told you guys to be honest. And he looks back at the CPS worker and he's like, "Yeah, he spanks me with an open hand or an object." And Jojo's like, "I don't know." And oh my fuck, I'm going to jail. Fuck, I'm going to jail. What do you mean you don't know? And he's like, "Well, I don't look when he spanks me." Honest answer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Honest answer. So I'm teaching him to be fucking honest as much as possible.
No, I mean, my uncle, my tia, that both live in Washington, but he was also a CPS worker here. He always says that, and he's all about spanking. He spanks his daughter and everything, and he always said that you can almost, like, it's like, you can spank your kids. Just don't go excessive.
You're not throwing no bully UFC beatdowns.
Yeah,
on them. Like, they're walking in with swollen eyes.
Yeah,
like,
just again, it's supposed to be just open palm to the ass, stuff like that. You're not technically supposed to be using belts. I mean, even though we know it's a common thing. As long as it's not not excessive. Because again, I got the shit beat out of. I feel like being 94, I was one of the last eras where spanking was more acceptable, and I got my ass beat a bunch of times. But I was also a piece of shit kid. But again, it turned they were molding me.
And that's our LA finest right here, right? He said he was a piece of shit.
Yeah, because he's admitting, hey, I was an asshole kid. Bro.
I'm not gonna lie, I was an asshole kid growing up, man. And so
I respect that.
Yes, my parents would beat the shit out of me a lot, and so me and my sister, the only one that didn't get it, of course, was the youngest one. But yeah, me and my sister, we got our ass beat, and but again, it was never excessive. But what I liked that my dad would do, he wouldn't just like lose a temper and fucking just start wailing on us. He would which I think was worse, sit us down, talk about why it's bad what we did, and if we understood. And in my head, okay, I'm like, okay, cool, I'm just gonna get away with the lecture every single time. He's like, okay, and then he's like, okay, and for those reasons, I'm gonna give you 3. I'm like, fuck. And then he would fucking go to town.
You know what's the worst word that kids hate to hear?
Turn around.
No, I'm disappointed in you.
Yeah,
the phrase.
I
phrase.
think
I'm disappointed in you.
everybody.
Everyone, even me as an adult.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
disappointed you in the dogs, bro.
Oh, I know. That's why I'm trying to change my ways, man. You not see them out there? They're out there. I let
Those
them
are your
loose.
children too. They're neglecting them.
I let them loose. I let them loose.
but where were they before that?
Shut the hell up, dude. I'll edit your part out and say, and he'll get one on top of you. Nah, again, back to being a great father and all that. I mean, just being there for your kid is one. Mainly, the main one.
I
to
agree
me,
with that. Yeah. No, a lot of people
the main
say
one,
that
just
too.
be there. And again, back to Paul's point is, you gotta raise your kid your way.
Mm-hmm.
Your way. Don't let anybody influence. Shut up, dog. Oh, I mean, hey, dog. Fuck. He's gonna give me an extra 3 miles today. And just for saying, shut up.
No, what it's not about the miles. Actually, the pace.
Right? He's gonna
Pace
make
is
fucking
what
go.
hurts.
But again,
I'm waiting.
I don't classify myself as a great dad. I just, like one time Gary Provencio, every time I post something, every weekend we did something with the kids. Took them to freaking the Home Depot workshop, the park, the freaking. I never take him to Disneyland. We're probably gonna go to Disneyland pretty soon. But
You should go.
every weekend it was something, and he was like, dude, like, you're making me look bad. I'm like, why, dude? I'm not trying to. You're messing around, but
Yeah.
Gary, what he meant by that. And then one day he posted a picture of hanging out with his daughters. He goes, I'm busting the Andres today. I'm like, I'm being Andres today. He's like, you're making me the dad I want to be. I need to be. I'm like, I'll take that as a compliment.
Because for as long time his weekends were at breweries and getting jacked up.
I think he needed to leave that
Yeah.
freaking business. But yeah, I mean, I don't classify myself as a great dad. Just I'm here. I'm here for them and what they need and whatever life lessons I need to teach. I don't even know why I brought up the therapist, but I lost track of time. I lost track of focus or whatever. That's why I can't be on the radio, bro.
Yeah.
They offer me a job at the radio. I can't do it.
Yeah, I heard
I can't do it.
Funny.
And just like I said, dude, back to Paul. Just don't let anybody else raise your kids but you.
Yeah.
Don't let anybody influence their behavior. Because it is an influenced behavior. You throw a tantrum because you can't get this. You're not supposed to get this, and then grandma still gives it to her just to shut them up. It's not cool. It pisses me off. Stuff like that pisses me off when I see it in the stores.
And you got an involved family, so
Yeah.
you're
Yeah,
gonna
that's gonna
ruffle
be the-
some feathers here.
Oh yeah, no, it's like I said, it's for the podcast listeners. We're not pregnant, all right. So I don't want people to be like, oh,
Uncle Roy, spread that rumor, bro.
yeah. So
Next
no.
party.
Yeah, don't think we're expecting his puppies. So
So you are pregnant. Thank you.
yeah, I guess Hercules, not me. Fuck. So no, but I thought it was just a curious thing, and
And you wanted to have one over Paul.
yeah. Well, it came to mind. I was like, fuck, I feel like this will be a good topic and stuff like that. So then Paul's surprised. I'm like, so I'll re-surprise Paul then.
Well, don't worry, bro. I'll take that. If he tells me, I'll be on the first flight back.
Well, now I know how serious
Dude,
it
when I
is,
told
dude.
him hey, you wanted to come on, I'll call in. Like, bullshit.
Yeah, I'm like, well, fuck, I don't really get this too many weekends off, so I was like I gotta exploit it.
So that's why I told Homegirl, we're going to cancel today. This is the first time I'm going to have these two here. And I should have done a better job of hiding the microphone because you suspected something the moment you walked in.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And let's get to the reason why I'm here, bro. Because we're about to ride together.
Let's
bro.
go.
Oh, man. I don't feel sorry for you at
You
all.
need to get your bike, dude, because I can't.
Yeah, my dad just called me, so
This is gonna be fun, bro.
Anything else? Last minute, boys.
That's it for me, man. You know, just beat your kids.
Because I'm pretty sure he sees a lot out there, dude. To where it'll make us like, you fucking assholes, man.
Oh
like,
yeah, please just okay. Obviously, don't beat your kids, but please discipline your kids. You know, don't allow them to do whatever the hell they want. You know, please discipline the kids because you're only doing them a further disservice.
you know what?
One last thing. Yeah, one last thing. I was watching this. Espérate. Because then I forget. Then I'll forget. Like, again, back to the therapist. I don't even know why the fuck I brought that up. I was watching this video the other day, and the mom was getting with trying to get the iPad away from the kid, and he kept on moving from the bed, so she couldn't get to him. But she wasn't really trying. Like, can I have the iPad? Skylar, can I have the iPad? Give me the iPad. You're going to go on timeout. You're going to go on timeout. Give me the time. Like, she's telling him for like 2-3 minutes to hand over the iPad. I personally would have gone in the fucking bed and taken the damn iPad from that kid. What pissed me off the most was the dad was just fucking standing there and not helping mom. And that's the one thing my wife's like, you need to support me. You need to have my back. Mm-hmm. You give me the green light and I will whip their ass. Yeah. You just got to give me the green light. But support one another, dude.
Yeah.
Support one another. I saw that video. That video fucking
that.
pissed me off. That the dad is just standing there watching this thing. Mm-hmm. And the mom is like, give me the iPad. Give me the iPad. No, bitch. Sorry, but take the fucking iPad. Okay,
Yeah.
Paul, your turn.
No, but Denzel Washington said it best. He says, it starts with the home.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's all,
Yep.
if there is no father, then the judge becomes the father and the system becomes the family. And that's what happens.
Yeah.
And he says, because I remember they talked to him about all the systemic stuff, all that. And he always says, where was the father? Where was the mother? Where was this? Well, you know, he's all, because you and I could talk about this, but where was the father? And it always starts at home and it leads into other stuff. So I always go by that man's quote.
Yeah, no,
Good
it's
quote.
great. It's great. Yeah,
I think
it's
that quote made the
100%
podcast
fact.
episode name.
Yeah,
I like it.
100% facts.
All right, Rick, you got to go. I got to go on the bike ride. So,
Yep.
like I ended every podcast, thank you for riding with me.
All right.
Thanks, man.
Thank you for listening to Ride With Me, the Flat Tire Indie Podcast. You can also listen to us on iTunes, Spotify, and Podbean.